Recently I came across this simple 5 EMA pullback strategy video and it seemed like an interesting concept. So I decided to code a similar but fully objective rules-based strategy with the help of ChatGPT. My version of this strategy is not the same as shown in the original video, but I am currently testing a few versions of this concept, so in the future I might bring you a more complex version of it. Let me know if you would like to see that in the comment section. After I got the script coded, I tried and optimized the strategy for a few assets, and the best performer was USTEC or the US 100 50-minute chart. In just 4 years, this optimized strategy generated 300% net profit with 25% maximum drawdown. So in this video, I will explain the full strategy, show you all the indicators needed and the optimized parameter settings. At the end, we will take a look on how well this strategy performed compared to all the other strategies I have tested so far here on TradeSmart AI. And the best part, I am sharing the source code of this strategy with all of you for free. Without wasting any time, let's get right into it. Okay, so for this strategy, first of all head over to TradingView and set up the USTEC, this one from IC Markets, 15-minute chart. Once you got that, let's set the indicators. For this strategy, we will only need 3 different indicators, 2 MA ribbons and 1 NNFX ATR for stop loss and take profit. So type in MA ribbon and add this one 2 times to your chart. Then type in NNFX ATR and click on this one 1 time. Okay, now we have the indicators on the chart, but as I said, I optimized the strategy, so we need to change a few settings. Let's open up the first MA ribbon, untick the MA4 option, set all the MAs to EMA, make sure the source is set to close, and the first MA should be set at a 50 length, the second 110 length, and the third 170 length. I used these colors for these 3 EMAs, but you can use whatever you like. Now open up the second MA ribbon, and now untick the MA3 and MA4 boxes. Again, make sure that the MA1 and MA2 are set to EMA, and the source is closed. And now the lengths should be set at 450 and at 800. For the 451 I used the blue color, and for the 801 a white color. And finally, for NFX ATR, set the X value, which is the period, to 250, the take profit multiplier to 12, and the stop loss multiplier to 7.5. Now go over to the size tab, uncheck the sell TP, the sell SL, and the main ATR, and make sure that the line style is set to step lines. This way it will be easy to see where to put the take profits and the stop losses. Okay, we have all of the indicators set up. Now I will explain the entry and exit rules of the strategy, but just quickly take a look on the strategy script. Okay, in the strategy script you can set up all the 5 EMAs, so here is MA1, MA2, MA3, MA4 and MA5. You can choose from these MA options. My personal favorite is SMMA, but as this strategy was presented with the EMA, I decided to go with that. Under that you have 3 specific filter options, I will explain these in just a moment. And below that the ATR stop loss and take profit level, a trade direction limiter, and a time filter. Now for this strategy, I set the initial capital to 10,000, the default order size to 85,000, the commission is set at 1.6 USD per contract, and the slippage is 100 ticks. Keep in mind that these fee values are specifically set for the IC Markets USTEC chart. If you try to use this strategy on NQ1 or US 100, which is actually almost the same as the USTEC, then you have to use different fees. On NQ1 I generally use a 2.5 USD per contract, with a 20-tick slippage for example. And make sure that the margin for long positions and the margin for short positions are both set to 0. If this is not set to 0, then the position sizing will mess up the backtesting results. Okay, now this is a long only strategy, so now let's see a long trade. I will hide the strategy script and the NNFX ATR for now. Okay, so the first 3 EMAs that we set up with the first MA ribbon are these 3 EMAs. What matters here is that the fastest moving EMA, which is this red line, should be above the second fastest moving EMA, which is this orange line, and both of these lines should be above the yellow line, which is MA3, the slowest moving one of these 3. Now under that you can see the other 2 MAs, which is in the second MA ribbon. The blue line is the 450 length and the white line is the 800 length EMA. For a valid long entry, this blue line should be above the white line, so the faster moving EMA should be above the slower moving EMA. So these three EMAs should align and these two EMAs should align. And of course, these three EMAs should always be above these two EMAs. Now, why is this important? These two EMAs are moving very slowly, so these confirm the higher time frame trend of this specific asset. As the blue line is above the white line, it means that we are in an uptrend. While these three moving averages move significantly faster than these two, so if these align, this means that on the lower time frame, the short-term trend is also trending upwards. After we confirm that all the EMAs are in a correct position, what we are looking for now is a pullback. We need the price to close under at least this red moving average, but not under the yellow one. Now, as you can see, that happens right on this candle. After we got a candle like that, a close under the fastest moving EMA, the red one, but above this yellow EMA, we want to see that the next candle is immediately green. Now, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I test multiple versions of this strategy. I test one where it doesn't matter what color is the candle immediately after the pullback, and we can still enter into a long position just on the first green candle. But this time I optimized this version of the strategy and got pretty good results. That's why I'm bringing this one to you. Okay, so we got the pullback candle, then after that immediately a green candle, so that should be our entry point. But we have three extra rules. If I go back to the strategy script, I mentioned to you that we have these three filter functions here. Now the first one is called minimum bars since last MA4 and MA5 cross. This means at least how many candles should the MA4, this blue line, be above the MA5, this white line. And currently it is set to a minimum of 20 candles. So counting backwards from the entry signal candle, in the last 20 candles, the MA4 should have been above the MA5 EMA. So let's see that. 20 candles is right here. And it's clear to see that the MA4 was above the MA5 all along this time. Now the second special filter rule is minimum bars since fast MA cross. This limits for at least how many candles the two fast moving MA, which is this red and orange line, should have been above this yellow line. So basically this confirms that the short-term trend is not disrupted and we are still in a steady uptrend. Now I could have made a limiter that includes these two fast moving average crosses too, like this one. But I see that these two lines frequently cross each other. What I think matters more is that both of these lines stays above this yellow line. So this is now set at a minimum of 67 candles. I just measured it out. This is 67 candles right here. And in these 67 candles, both of the fast moving EMAs stayed above the slower moving EMA. And the third special rule is minimum candles above below all MAs before pullback. Now this means that counting backwards from the entry signal candle, now this is set at 42, we need to have at least 42 candles where all of those candles closed above the three fast moving EMAs and not below. So this is the last time we had a close below the three fast moving EMAs. And if I measure 42 candles, that is here. And in these 42 candles, we only have closes above the three MAs. So those are the three special rules that needs to be met too for a valid long entry. Now once all those rules are met, we can enter into a long position at the close of the signal candle or at the open of the next candle. The stop loss will be placed at the lower NNFX ATR line, which is this red line right here. And the take profit to the upper NNFX ATR line, which is that blue line up there. Now we don't have any trading stop losses, we don't have any exit signal indicators, but those could be good additions. For example, a squeeze momentum based force exit, and the trading stop loss will most likely improve this strategy in the future. I will test it out and we'll see. For now, we are just using these fixed stop loss and take profit options. And in this case, we got a beautiful trade. Take profit got hit right there. The price never really got into a big drawdown, just a little bit at the beginning right here. But after that, we steadily trended up with a few pullbacks and a clear hit right here. Okay, now this is a simple strategy. Just make sure to remember the three special rules I mentioned to you. So minimum bars since last MA4, MA5 cross, minimum bars since the last fast MA cross, and minimum candles above below all MAs before pullbacks. Okay, but how you can get access to this strategy? Well, as always, go down into the description, there you will find a Google Drive link. Open up that Google Drive link, it will lead you to the strategy script itself. You just copy the strategy script, come back to TradingView, then open up Pine Editor right here at the bottom left. highlight everything here, paste the code right there, and then click on this button and it will add it to your chart. And now let's see the backtest results. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the position sizing I am using, and this is the fee structure. Make sure the margin is set for 0 for long positions. And my optimization date range was from June 1st, 2021 till June 1st, 2025. And these are the results. We only got 86 trades. I know that's a really low trade count, but the equity curve seems pretty promising. But of course, we need to see how this strategy will perform after the release of this video on live market data. Until then, we cannot rule out the possibility that this is an overfitted or over-optimized strategy. Keep that all in mind. But after just only 86 trades, the strategy generated around 300% net profit with around a 25% maximum drawdown, almost 55% win rate, and a 1.9 profit factor. Here is the performance summary, the trade analysis tab, and the risk performance ratios. Now let's see how the strategy performed after the optimization date. I will set the last date to 1st of December and the start date to 2025, the 1st of June. And let's take a look. Well, yeah, after the optimization date range, it doesn't look as good as in the in-sample data, but it's still profitable. All strategies can have their bad periods. We will see how it performs in the following months. Altogether, let's see entire history, how it performs on that. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Starting from 2018 is just trending upwards steadily, which is actually a good sign because I optimized it from 2021, the 1st of June. So around starting from here was my optimization done. And it performs well before that too. And now let's see where this strategy is placed among all the strategies I have tested so far. Here you can see the strategy ranking spreadsheet. You can find this also linked down in the description. Here I collect all the backtest results for all the strategies I have tested. But of course, keep in mind that these are in-sample data, not after optimization data. I think I made a video on the main TradeSmart channel about these strategies and checked which performs really well after the optimization. I will link that down in the description too. And today's strategy is the 3+2 EMA Pullback plus continuation strategy, and it took the 35th place out of the around 50 strategies that we tested so far. So again, in this spreadsheet you can find all the details of the backtest. Here's the net profit, the profit factor, the win rate, and the maximum drawdown. And at the end, here you can find the download link of the strategy script, and I will paste the YouTube video link here too. Now, if you want to support the channel, you can check out these top performer script, which you can buy in my Patreon shop. These are more complex, highly customizable strategies. Still not as complex as my premium strategy scripts that I present on the main TradeSmart channel, but usually these are around 400 or 500 lines of codes, while this one, what I shared today, is around 200 lines. So check them out. If you like this one, I think you will like these ones too.